If you go too fast, you're gonna fry your ass. Just like a bacon in a skillet, it's gonna be a sizzling hot and it's not gonna feel good. Welcome back. It's your host, Hallismmith, for another episode of Girlcore. Guys, I just got a new stizzy today. Do you remember the first time you ever hit that electronic pen, especially a weed pen? They go so freaking hard. You don't think it's going to be that intense. The first time I tried it, I just came back from my Europe trip. I'm with my friend. We're in my car. We go to the dispensary. We pick up some stuff and they got a stizzy. And I was like, what the hell is that? Like, I never seen that. Apparently they were popular while I was traveling in Europe. So I did not know. Hit that stuff. And if you guys know, the little stizzy does not have a battery button that you press, you just inhale. I did not at first realize that. Sometimes there's like a 3 blink rule or like you'll see a green light go on. So I was waiting for that and I'm like sucking on it. I was sucking on the stizzy, on the weed pen, not the other thing. And I was sucking on it, just waiting and waiting. And then all of a sudden my lungs were filled with smoke and I could not, like, literally, guys, it was terrible. I thought I was like, it felt like you're suffocating within. If you've ever hit like a cigarette hard, a bong, a water bong, oh my gosh, I'm not even gonna get into that. That'll be another episode. But that shit was stinging in the back of my throat. I'm coughing my eyes out. Me and my friend are sitting in my car. I get so fucking high. I'm like, I can't drive. Like, and we weren't even supposed to get high. Luckily, we were literally like right down the street from their house, so it wasn't hard. Like, we actually just could walk home. But at first we were like, holy shit, because I just thought like, oh, just take a light little hit of the pen, like barely nothing. No. I got so stuck. It was insane. Like, I went nonverbal for a second. You know, when you go nonverbal when you're smoking, like that is a whole nother dimension. And guys, you know me, I'm a yapper. So for me to go nonverbal from the weed it was intense. Now I love it. But I've been off the weed smoke, for example, just because it's not great for your lungs. Any type of smoke is not good for your lungs, whether it be weed from a pen, weed from, the bong, or even just cigarettes. Smoke in general is bad for the lungs. So I've just been sticking to the good old fashioned, edibles. Edibles are great, but like they're just so delayed reactions. You don't always know when it's about to hit, and it's kind of annoying in that way. But for the most part, it's pretty fine, and I have a good experience with them. One of my favorite brands that I like to use all the time is, what is it? Lost Farms. I think it's called Lost Farms. And I really like that because usually it's organic. There's no bad shit in it. There's no chemicals, no pesticides being grown in the weed. And honestly, I do have like a connection to some nice homegrown kush, and I love homegrown kush. I'm from California where it's completely legal, but if I have friends that grow it, I love getting that type of weed because it's not grown with pesticides. They grew it in their house. It's all organic. I know how it's grown. And it's supporting a small business. Okay. I'm not going to go to the big weed dispo. I'm gonna support the small businesses. Okay. Even though it's, I technically wink, not wink, I never go there. Okay. Because that's illegal. You have to go to the dispo to get your weed. But I'm of age. In California, it's 21 to be able to buy weed, unless you have like a medical reason. But at that age, you have to be 21 in California to buy weed legally, but it is legal. You can just go in there. That's the funny part too, though. Speaking of new experiences, guys, we are going to be talking about anal training. Okay. Yes. Hard pivot, hard curve. Not so hard. No, we are talking about anal training because I realize that you guys don't know. You need to train like it's the New York Marathon. You have to practice, take your time, build up, and slowly get the endurance to finish the race. Okay. Because when you think it's going to be easy peaches the first time doing it in the back door, you are wrong, because then you might just do it wrong, but you can train and do it properly. And just like any good old sport, the more you practice, the better you play, and you practice like you play. Okay. So I want to see your happy face on and your enthusiasm going, and also understanding that just like when you're at practice, whether it be a sport or anything, when you're new to something, it takes time. Okay. Yes. Some of us are natural talents. You might be able to take it through the back door, no problem whatsoever. Just you blink your eyes and oh my gosh, it's all the way in, his entire pink water bottle. But for some of us, it takes a lot of time and training and just warm up. And that's more than normal because having something back there is scary. I think I literally talked about it lightly on last week's episode. Like, you want to build up just having something back there. I got like a question from somebody at the end of the podcast asking about anal. And I get that question a lot. And then I was literally thinking about it after the podcast, after I talked about it. But I was like, holy shit, I've never talked about anal training. So you need to train, you need to prepare, and you just want to make sure that you really take your time. Okay. Because here's the thing. I put it like this. If you go too fast, you're going to fry your ass. Just like a bacon in a skillet, it's going to be a sizzling hot and it's not going to feel good. You heard me. Go too fast, fry your ass when you're trying the back door. Slow is your best friend. Take it nice and easy. Okay. There's There's no rush, there's no craziness. And one of the most important things about good backdoor fun spicy time is to make sure that you can trust your partner to listen to you, to engage thoughtfully, and to really be there. Because when you're doing it in the back door, you need to be able to tell somebody, like, stop, go, stop, go. It is red light, green light to the most intense version you've ever played the first time you try backdoor, because it is going to be like, okay, we need more lube at 12 o'clock, more lube at 6 o'clock. Okay, slightly insert. No, 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 no. Back up, back up. Okay, a little more. Let it sit, stop. Hold it, push, push, push. Like, that is literally what it's like. But it's literally because I'm going to describe to you what it feels like when you're doing the bam chicka bam bam in your ass. No, but when you're in the back door, it is just a ring, okay? If you've ever imagined it, like, what does it feel to enter through the back way? Make a circle with your hand. I got this also little study, this little example I'm going to show you. I asked my man what it felt like to go through the back door and through the kitty cat, through the pussy, and this is what he said. In the back door, make the okay symbol with your hands, and then put your finger in the okay symbol. Okay, so then I want you to close the circle really tight on your finger, okay? You know, close it, make like a hole that your finger is gonna go in and out of, and squeeze really tight. That's what it feels like when you're doing it in the back door. It's just one tight ring. There's just like one tight circle, and then anything after that circle, just like when you're pushing your finger through the hole, when you connect your, forefinger, your thumb, and your pointer finger, it just kind of feels like nothing. But when you're on the ring, it feels very tight. And that ring is super tight, and that's where you need the lube, because it's like a circle. It's just like a clock. So you will feel exactly on that ring of your asshole where you need more lube, and you can tell them to do so, like 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 5 a.m., 4 p.m. You will feel exactly where you need the lube. Just tell them, hey, bottom left, lube up. Like, literally have the jar of lube, have the, bottle that you can just press out like hand sanitizer next to you, because lube, lube, lube. If I could say lube, 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 I would say it more, because that's how much you need. You need so much. Also, if you're curious what it feels like in the kitty cat, circling back, take your finger and close, like, how do I say this? Make like, how do I say, put your hands in like a fist? Yeah, put your hands in like a fist, and, slip your hand into the hole of your hand and go in and out. And it's like having all 4 fingers, closed around your finger, your one other hand. How do I explain this? Sorry, this sounds so weird, but I'm pretty much trying to describe what a vagina feels like when you insert it with the dick, as guys say. So yeah, create your fist, slip your finger into that little hole in between like your fingers and your knuckles, and kind of, penetrate, push in and out your finger and really tighten it. And you see how like the tightness is all over your finger because you have all 4 fingers covering this. That's what it feels like when you're going through the vagina. But when you're going through the back door, it is just one ring that they feel, and that is where you need the most lubricant, because that ring is what you are going to be feeling when they're trying to enter through the backside, okay? So you just want to make sure that ring right there is extra slippery and lubed up. Now, we've talked about not going too fast, because also if you go too fast, you're going to clench. Literally, anal is like yoga, okay? If you're trying to do it in the back door, you need to have the yoga skills to breathe, okay? It is literally a form of yoga. It is a form of meditation when you do it in the back door, because you need to be so comfortable with like releasing tension in your body and unclenching, because you don't even realize how much you are clenching and how much you are kind of like grinding down and not breathing properly. Like when you're doing bad form in yoga, you're not breathing, you're not relaxed. You need to breathe, you need to relax when you're trying to do it in the back door for it to be fun, because this is where the training comes into hand. Because if you're trying to train for the back door, eventually, like now when I do it regularly, I can immediately feel like, oh shit, like I'm clenching my asshole, or I'm clenching my whole body, or I'm super stiff. I need to deep breath in, deep breath out. And I literally have to like I'll go in the Zen zone. Like I go quiet, there's no noise, it's just me breathing. And my man knows, he has now learned, like if I'm just doing my little deep breaths, you hear me in and out, that means I am trying to, connect and unclench. And for me, it takes a second. I am such a tightly wound person. I am not a very touchy person. It's really funny because I totally give that vibe, don't I? That I'm like a super touchy, handsies, huggy friend. I am not. I am the least physical friend you'll ever meet. And it's actually really funny too, because I'm always talking about, the pink water bottle and how to have fun in the bedroom and intimacy, but I am not an intimate person physically at all. Like literally my friends, they see me, I have a cute little wiener dog, and they see me petting him and like, oh, baby, kissing my dog, and my friends are like, that's the most affectionate I've ever seen you. And I'm a married woman, I have a husband, but we do not show affectionate like that publicly. When I'm alone with my partner, totally, I'm kissing and I'm cuddling. But for the most part, I am not a touchy person. And even if you like, I was getting my nails done a few weeks back, also, actually, not a few weeks back, like 3 days ago. I was getting my nails done like 3 days ago. And I got my nails done and she was like holding my hand. And then she kept slapping my hand because my nail lady was like, relax, relax, like relax. Like you need to relax. Like your fingers are so tight. She'd be holding one of them and I'd be like clenching the other ones, like making a claw while this poor lady is trying to do my nails. But like I've had that happen so many times. Even when I'm getting like a full body massage, I got one when I was in Mexico a few weeks back. I paid for a little massage, and when I was getting the massage, the lady was like, breathe, breathe, relax, relax. It's okay. Like because when somebody touches me, I immediately clench up. My friends joke because if you come up out of nowhere and try to like hug me, you are gonna feel my whole body stiffen like a deer in the headlights. Like, I'm just not a touchy person. It's never been for me. I actually really used to like judge myself in a way for it because when I was younger, I kind of noticed like girls and like maybe the more popular girls were always super touchy and friendly, like whether it be with their guy friends, their girlfriends. Like I just thought when I was younger, like very popular girls usually were very touchy. They like to hug and be hugged, and they were just like all over their friends and all over their crushes. And I tried to like do that, and it felt so painful. I think if I did try, I was probably super awkward back then, especially at my younger age. But I freaking hated it. I overthink touch to the max. Anywho, getting off track, okay? I recommend if you want to have a great time doing the back door to make sure that you reach at least one big O at least one time. Your body's more relaxed and loose, and then it makes it a lot easier when you try to do the back door because it's a lot more open and just ready and relaxed, and your body is more at ease. You just got a big rush of endorphins, all those chemicals just flooded your head. You're more ready for it. So I recommend try to orgasm first, then try the back door. It will be so much better and a lot easier to go in. You have to warm up. Now, warm up, because I've been talking about just like the outside and the emotional and kind of experience of anal, but not like the actual doing of it, like getting in the hole. Because have you guys ever tried to put, something in your asshole? No. Have you ever tried to stick it up the butt? It doesn't go right in. If you try to put it in the back door, it's not just like easy entry. If you knock at that door is solid. That door is a wood, solid oak door. It's not opening. So you have to warm that muscle up, relax that muscle, massage just at the door, at the opening, okay, right there, massage it for a few minutes, put some lube on there so that it's like slippery. You don't want to be dry rubbing. You do not want to be dry rubbing your asshole. That would feel terrible. Literally feel like you're literally just like putting sandpaper on your ass if you're not having lube there, just like any other part of your body. So spit on it, add some lube, rub your asshole. And I would say to build up to anal, it doesn't have to be an immediate like, tonight, babe, we're gonna put it all the way up there. No. Take your time. Start with a little bit of just, feeling around there, touching around there, massaging there. And then I would say best thing to do is add a butt plug, okay? You're gonna wanna plug it up. Just like a sink, just like you got your bathtub when you're taking a bath, you need a plug. You need to put a plug up the back door and get used to feeling something back there like that. Don't go buying a giant, banana plug and putting it up there and like, why does this not work? Get a super tiny one, get something you're comfortable with, okay? And they have really itsy bitsy plugs that you can find that are really cute. They have like a little diamond rhinestone on the back of it, so it looks pretty when it's stuck up there. But it is just a good way to build up and stretch your back door. So they have different size plugs that you can try. They have pretty ones, they have fun ones. But remember, no base, no love. Never put anything up your back door unless there is a base. If there's no base, I don't want it. Because if there's no base in your butt toy, it will just go up there and it will be lost forever. The back door is a back hole, and if you put something up there that doesn't have a base, it's going to disappear. No, it's going to be a freaking one-way ticket to the hospital, and you're going to have to tell them that you put something up your back door and you need it removed, and that is embarrassing. Oh, okay. So just make sure that you are beginning to warm it up, stretch it out, get used to something back there. Plugs are great. The big muchacho is his thing, is his pink water bottle, is his dick. I would say lube your asshole and lube his dick, because lube, you can't go wrong. and let it simmer when you're getting used to having something back there. Now, here is how not to schmidt yourself doing it in the back door, okay? You know what I mean? If you don't want a little bit of mud to run when you're doing it in the back door, you need to prepare beforehand by drinking or eating something that gets your stomach going, like a nice iced coffee, a nice big iced vanilla coffee in the morning. It usually gets most people's stomach going. So you want to make sure the tank is empty by preparing beforehand, okay? Drink a nice coffee, maybe take a digestive vitamin. Digestive vitamins just help like break down that food and get your stomach going in a nice way. If before, when you start doing the back door, if you feel like you kind of have to go to the bathroom, you probably might have something in there. But if you feel like you don't, that's pretty much a sign that there's nothing. And one of my gay best friends told me, I think I joked about this on the last podcast, but he was just like, just tell yourself you're not going to schmidt yourself and you won't, okay? It's a mental game. You're not going to shit yourself, so relax. Now, there might be a little mud, but don't get mad. If they get mad at you because it's a little bit muddy when you're trying to do the back door, that's on them, not you, okay, baby? If they want to play, if there's big risk, big reward. If you guys are mature enough to be having this intimate relationship, you guys should be able to handle a little bit of mud if you're going the back route, okay? Just have some baby wipes, a little wet paper towel, maybe just like something to wipe off in case there's a little bit of mud. It's fun. You got to build up to it. And here is the thing. It's not going to be the end all be all. Not everybody loves it, okay? And that's completely okay. I would say at least try it 3 times, okay? You're like, bitch, what? But try it 3 times before you also make up your final decision. Do everything I said. Take your time. Warm up, warm up, warm up. Do all the things. And then try to see it. Now, being so freaking real, if you've ever done it in the back door and if you've ever maybe have them finish in the back door, okay, make you a bit of a Twinkie, I might say. If they make you a bit of a filled up Twinkie when you're doing it the back door, when you go to the bathroom, it's gonna be a little weird because you might literally schmidt out, okay, their frosting. Yeah, that Twinkie frosting will literally come out of your back door. Yeah, and it feels weird. It literally feels like you're about to take a okay, you know, it feels like you're going to the bathroom, the back route. Give it a try. It's not for everybody, but plenty of people love it. And once it clicks, you'll feel it. Speaking of techniques, you guys love when I talk about the pink water bottle and give you guys tips. And I have a plethora. It's quite fun, but you guys are always jogging my memories, my thoughts, my ideas in different ways. When you comment, when you DM me, when you guys message me, it honestly helps so much because it always gives me something new to think about, a new perspective on something, or it just jogs something in my brain. But I was literally just thinking about, I made a TikTok talking about cold blowy. I saw this TikTok by another girl and she was just talking about like once a guy learns how to go down and do the cold blowy technique. And I was like, oh my gosh, I literally talked about this on my other podcast that I do weekly on Wednesdays on Hero Hero. I did an episode about like kinks and temperature play and things like that. So if you want to give that more of a listen on my Hero Hero platform, I have it more there. It's linked down below after this video. You'll see it down below if you want to listen there. I did talk about it, but I haven't talked about it here. And I was like, holy shit, I need to talk about this. And I literally made a TikTok discussing a little bit of a quick rundown, but you guys know I can say more here than I can say on TikTok. So let me get into it real quick. If you have not tried, okay, so a cold blowy is where you use something that kind of feels cold on somebody's, you know, nipples, dick, pussy, whatever it may be. So to give a cold blowy, it's really fun. You can put an ice cube in your mouth and then you're gonna run your mouth along their their cucumber from the tip to the, tennis balls. And this sensation kind of makes your body constrict and kind of get like the blood flowing. So it really makes you start, getting very aroused very quickly. And it's a good way to also play up with edging and building up that, just like, oof, that passion, that energy, because it can also delay and slow down an orgasm. So it's really fun to play with temperature play, especially cold temperature play, because it helps to constrict and release. And then you're getting that blood flow and you can do it all over. Try taking the ice cube in your mouth and then your tongue gets cold and then run it along their thigh, kind of tease their cucumber, even like, smooch a bit, kind of tease around their lips with the ice cube, things like that, even on their neck, your tongue, getting nice and cold. Here's the one thing though, if you are trying to do a frosty blow blowy, okay, you're trying to be a little frost man and blowing that cold air on their thing, do not put an ice cube straight to a guy's cucumber, or else it might stick there and you do not want that to happen. You know, just like when they say don't lick a cold pole in the winter or else your tongue can get stuck, be careful of putting it on very sensitive areas or else you might give them a little bit of frostbite. Some people like to use like a menthol mint or menthol gum. My only problem with that is like you don't want a yeast infection, and if somebody's using like a menthol mint or menthol gum to get that icy cold effect, it might give you a UTI. So careful if you're doing a cold blowy. The hot blowy is honestly really fun too. So how do you get it hot? People like to use hot wax that is made for the skin. It's very fun, but I feel like sometimes that's too much work. If you want like an easy way to kind of get into hot temperature play, so you can buy them at CVS. They're these little hot packs. The people use them in the winter to kind of warm up their hands. You use them when you're skiing. You can put them in your gloves, and they're these little hot temperature packs, and it has little beads in them, and you crack it and the pack gets nice and warm. So what I would do is I would hold that, okay, little packet in your hands, get your hands all warm, and then give them a little bit of action on the cucumber with your hands nice and warm. You can fondle the tennis balls after using the hot packet, and this will give them that hot, warm hand, little handy hand action. But you can also play with it on different parts of their body, holding the packet in between your hands, then, you know, maybe give them a little bit of a massage, maybe run them along their neck, along their chest. It is a really fun way to play for guys and girls. All right, guys, it's that time of the day, Q&A time. Hallie, I love watching your videos and your podcast. I was just wondering, how long should I have to wait before having sex with my longtime boyfriend? I'm 15, about to turn 16 in a couple months, and I've been dating my boyfriend for almost 2 months, and we really like each other. Okay, I would say like to wait for that intimate moment, to wait for your first time, I would just wait until you fully trust your partner, you really understand, you know, that they're gonna listen to your needs, that you're gonna communicate easily, and you guys have some form of protection you're on, whether it be physical or oral, like medication, you know, all the different versions of birth control. Just make sure you're on one thing, that you use at least one form of birth control, and that you're ready to do that. Like, first of all, think about it. Do you have the time? Do you have the place that you could do it? Because you at least want an hour to at least 2 hours to really be able to warm up the first time and really enjoy it and not have it be a rush. So if you're like, yes, I know we can have this time to do it without any interruption, I would just say if you can comfortably talk about sex right now with them, then yeah. And if you're ready, you're ready, you know, listen to your body. I think anything below 13 is way too young personally. I just think at that age, you're in a way different mindset and maturity level. So listen to yourself, listen to your values and what you feel. And I would just say, you know, make sure you can communicate with your partner. Next question. Hi, Hallie, love your videos. How do I make my man get more comfortable with being more assertive and being on top? Usually whenever we start smooching and things like that, he always wants to lay down and me be on top, but I want to be a pillow princess too. Okay, yes. If you sometimes feel like you want your partner to take more charge and you're just like, come on, like I don't always want to be the one who has to be doing all the work, just tell them, be like, oh my gosh, I think it's really hot sometimes when you just like take charge and, you know, be on top and kind of be that more assertive, dominant energy. I think that's more what you just have to do, is you just have to be able to openly communicate. If you want your partner to do something that they're not doing, you just have to tell them. And you can do it like that. Use I statements in the way of like, I personally love when a guy is super dominant, or I personally like when once in a while we switch it up and you're more on top and I'm less on the bottom. Okay, like simple things like that. Or be like, I want to try something different today, how about you get on top? That'd be so hot. Like literally just a few little words like that can really just let them know what you want. Okay, next question. Hi, Hallie. I recently got into a relationship and we just started doing more schmexy things, and it's great for me, but the only problem is I cannot get him to finish. Okay, guys, this is a question I get a lot for girls and guys. I literally have a question right after this saying, hi, Hallie. I've been with my boyfriend for a while, but I cannot reach the finish line. I don't know what to do. We've tried it like in 4 different positions. We've tried different things. I just cannot get there. If your guy, girl, whoever, they, them, and you are having issues reaching the finish line, that's not on you as a partner, okay? It's probably not your fault. Now, that's after trying multiple things. Here's the thing. Guys and girls, very different on how we reach our finish line. Men are usually very quick, they're very hot to start, and usually women are more like slow cookers. We take a lot of mental, physical, and emotional to get to the finish line and to reach that big O. Now, that's not to say though that guys can't have the same problem. They also get mental blockages. They also have that stress of they need to perform, they need to finish, they need to reach this finish line, and they also experience that. So if a guy is not finishing, it's probably some mental block. It might just be, first of all, that he doesn't want to finish too early, so then he keeps holding it off and holding it off to eventually he kind of loses it. It might just be like their own values and kind of struggling with shame or sexual experiences, and they're just, having some hesitations to it. It could be something that they need to go to therapy for, but there's a few things you can try before going that far with it. If you or your partner is having a problem reaching the finish line, you cannot get that big O, you're going to want to play with a few of these techniques. First things first is sensory deprivation. Yes. So try to turn off the lights, okay? Go under the covers. Make sure it's dark. Make sure you just can't see your partner in that way. It really helps to reach the finish line if maybe you don't have the distraction of having somebody looking directly at you, looking at your face, or watching you or seeing your every movement, because you might just be self-conscious. You might be worrying about, if they see that body roll, if your double chin is tucked in. So try playing around with turning off the lights and things like that if you're having an issue reaching the finish line. It might be because you're not playing how you practice. If you usually do a little solo, masturbation time, and you usually have the lights off and you're usually under the covers, you're going to want to recreate the same thing that you do when you're alone. Your brain is constantly learning and picking up things, so your brain is going to remember, each time I reach the finish line, each time I have this, and this. The lights are off, I'm under the covers, so you want to recreate that. Now, sensory deprivation is great because it kind of just helps you relax. Maybe put on a blindfold, have something be like they can't see so that they can kind of just focus on feeling instead of seeing and worrying about, how they look or how you look. Another thing is I finish so much better when the fan is on. I get the best O's ever when the fan or the heater is on. White noise makes me reach my climax in so much better. I love it. Having the heater on, having the fan on, having the TV, these are all forms of white noise that might help you reach a better O when you're with your partner or by yourself, because it helps you distract and not hear and be aware of every sound in the room. So if you're somebody that struggles with that, try some sound, some white noise, and it might just help you relax. Now, those are just a few tricks that you can do if you're struggling to reach the O with your partner or by yourself. Practice like you play because you're training your brain. All right, guys, that wraps up this episode of Girlcore. I love you guys. Make sure if you want to listen more, you can listen more on Hero Hero on Wednesdays. I do another episode there. I'll have it linked down below. I do solo segments about just fingering or hand jobs or things like that. But if you want more of me, you can also just listen here next Sunday, and I'll see you soon.